Hi, designers. My name is Jenna, and today I want to talk to you about AI for interior designers, getting started with AI. So, a lot of the time, I am asked to speak to different organizations within the interior design industry and just introduce people to artificial intelligence and different ways that you could be using it in your company and design business right now. So I figured I would just give you a free introduction training so that you can understand just the fundamentals. Let's just break into the surface just a little bit and start to understand what the capabilities are and, what some of these technical terms mean. Okay. So let's get started. Before we do, I just want to give you a little backstory about who I am, what I do, and why I'm here talking to you today. So, hey, my name is Jenna, and I am formerly the founder of the eDesign Tribe community and eDesign U, which was one of the largest virtual schools for people that are interested in learning how to take their business from local to online. And this was actually founded in 2018 and then acquired by Mydoma Studio in 2022, where I joined their team and I still teach rendering currently to this day. So, I am now the founder of AI for Interior Designers as of the end of 2023. When I felt comfortable enough with the education and just dabbling and exploring AI for myself and for my own design business, which is Jenna Designs. I established that back in 2015 when I was working remotely after I left my corporate job in the furniture industry, which previously I had gotten my bachelor's degree and went into that career. And now I get to design again. So I like to do all of that remotely from here. Charleston, South Carolina is where I'm currently located. And I've got this other little side gig that's called 11th and Home, which basically just uses AI and Photoshop and different designs that I create and curate. And it's print on demand. So just kind of a fun little side gig. So it's a little bit of my backstory here. But without further ado, let's get into the agenda for today. So, a few things that we're going to be covering ethics. I cannot have a conversation about AI without scratching the surface of AI ethics, and there's so much to uncover there. Chat GPT, which is probably the most common AI model right now. We're going to talk about LLMs and what that even stands for. Generative text to image programs, stable diffusion, and then what's next for the interior design space in the world of AI. All right. So, some key takeaways for today. Number one, AI enhances. It does not replace a designer's creativity. There's just certain points where I use AI in my workflow, and then there's certain points where I just don't use AI in my workflow. And there's places and times that it is 100% a performance enhancer, and then there's other times where it's just unnecessary for us to be using in certain points, or just not developed enough yet that we even can be using it at this point in time. Ethical use of AI is crucial at this point in time. It is the Wild West out there. So we are defining and establishing policies and procedures and just use cases for using AI ethically. Practical applications so you can streamline your design business and workflow, and then what tools to get started with AI. All right, so let's dive into these ethics. Again, these are just my three top lines in the sand to keep me personally ethically operating in this space in a way that I feel is going to benefit the industry and avoid plagiarism, keep transparency, and not lose your credibility. All right, that's really what this is all about. We are not trying to trick people into thinking that some of these AI images that we can create are our own work. Like, that is just deceptive and wrong, and it's not something that we are trying to do. So it is best practice to always disclose if you're sharing an AI generated image on your social media, on your website, wherever that is. We're just not in the industry to want to trick people into thinking that it's our own work and then having them hire us based off that imagery. AI imagery at this point in time is just purely a massive Pinterest board and it's inspiration. We are not literally taking these pictures and then like building something from them. It's just not working that way. So don't try and claim it as your own work when it's not. Okay, that's what that comes down to. Avoid reworking or directly using other designers and artists' images. So I never put another designer's what am I trying to say? Photography, artwork, original intellectual property in any capacity. I never run that in my AI programs. If I feel inspired by a certain design or image or style, I would say, in the design style of Frank Lloyd Wright, or I will create my own AI image that resembles the attributes that I liked in the inspirational picture from the original designer, and I will pull those out to create my own imagery, and then I will use that. But I never upload other designers and creatives and artists. I never upload their own work because it's too close. It's too close to stealing, and it's not something that I want to ever be involved in. So I create my own imagery, and then I run that imagery through. I also try and make sure that I always disclose if it's AI generated work copy. So, if I'm writing blog posts or something like that, a lot of time I will use AI or other AI programs to write these. And then at the end, I will say, co-written by ChatGPT, edited by human being Jenna Gadusic, and then I will sign it off there. At a certain point, if everybody just kind of copies exactly what they get from these AI generated models and never puts their own 2 cents in, it's going to be just regurgitated information that all came from AI, and there's no originality, no thought, and it's just a slippery slope. So definitely change what you get for your output and put your own spin on it, make it your own thing. Okay. So that's just a little bit on the ethics. We could talk about this for days, but just do the right thing is really what that comes down to. Okay. All right, Chat GPT. Let's talk about all the possibilities. So, if you are new to AI, you've probably by now heard about Chat GPT. This is by OpenAI, is the parent company. Chat GPT is the AI chat program, and Dolly, if you've heard of that, DALL-E, that is basically when you upgrade to the Pro account, which I recommend you do because you get way more in the Pro account. But when you upgrade, you get access to Dolly, which is OpenAI and ChatGPT's image generator. So if you're having a conversation with ChatGPT and you say, okay, now make me a picture to show me what that looks like, it will do that for you. Okay, so that is a little bit about ChatGPT. There's an app. I highly recommend you upgrade to Plus, and this is a great program to get started. Okay, so if you're curious where to get started with AI, I recommend ChatGPT. All right. Let's talk about 10 of the infinite possibilities for different use cases for ChatGPT for interior designers. All right. So, number one, it can help you write outlines for blog posts and then actually write those blog posts. Number two, it can create social media and content calendars, literally spreadsheets with hashtags and captions and what to post about. It can build those all out for you when you provide it with the context about what you do and who you do it for. Number three, we got draft email scripts for client communications and sales outreach. It's very great at writing email funnels, rewriting your emails so that they sound better. All of those things it can help with. We can develop SEO friendly website copies. So, SEO stands for search engine optimization, and it can definitely help with optimizing your website for organic searches. So, this is something that would show up in Google or some of these other large language models as the results. And then you would be on basically, it would show you the answer and you would be cited as that person. So, writing blog posts has never been more critical than it is now because there's more places you could potentially be seen here. So it can help you with those SEO, the copy that actually starts to show up in results. Number five is generate product description. So, like I said, I have this little side gig called 11th and Home, which is a print on demand home decor collection. And I want to design the stuff, but I don't want to write the captions for the stuff. So, I created a GPT where basically, if I upload my picture of the product, it will give me a name, description, and some alt text for that product based off of the image that it sees. So, very helpful, and also something that I have been able to outsource to my assistant and give him access to the GPT. So he can just go in and do those for me, which really helps me and saves a lot of time for building this store. Number six is write FAQ sections. So writing those sections where basically if you've got a new service or just general, questions that are asked very frequently, you can upload either blog posts or emails where you've answered things or whatever you might have, and it can write out a very, articulate FAQ section that does a question and answer format, and you can include that on your website. It's really great for brainstorming, ideas and direction for color palettes and design concepts, and basically taking your client onboarding information and then turning that into a tangible picture that you can use and develop into the actual design plan. By the way, it does not do floor plans well. They make no sense. So it can write out ideas for like different layouts, but actually to create a picture of it currently, they are just not there yet. Okay. And I'm recording this in July, at the end of July in 2024. So much of this could change here in the fall, in next week, and definitely by next year. Okay. So I will definitely keep you guys up to date, but this is where we currently are. All right. Okay, so number 8, we can also do outlines for design presentations, client proposals, all of those things. I've got so many tips, but it's a great tool for that. Newsletters. I mean, I love designing. I do not like writing newsletters. So this can definitely help you to stay consistent, get those newsletters out to build that credibility through your email list. And if you don't have an email list, it can help you to generate a lead magnet or something that's downloadable on your website in exchange for an email to build that email list and start to nurture your clients. All right. So that is just a drop in the bucket of some of the things that you can do with ChatGPT as an interior design professional. But what you can, and this is like one of my favorite parts, what you can do is create custom GPTs. So custom GPTs are technically called generative pre-trained transformers. And what those do is one specific task, and it does that task very, very well. Okay. So I've got a whole slew of them. The first one here is my design assistant. Basically helps me organize all my onboarding information. I might take a transcript from that onboarding call that I had with the client about what their needs are, what the goals are, their onboarding questionnaire that they fill out through Typeform, which also has AI integrated into that as well. And I can upload all of that, get a good picture and understanding of what we're going to be doing for the design plan, keep it very well organized and looking good. And then I can basically say, okay, now with all this information, let's start to create our concepts and our design boards, and let's move forward from there. So depending on what your process is, you can create custom GPTs to help you with different parts of your business that either are monotonous or you need to do it a little bit better or faster. So think about those little components to your business and where you might be able to create custom GPTs and then train those GPTs. I've got one here that's for blogging, so helps write SEO optimized blog posts for interior designers specifically. I made another one that is for hashtags. So I've been trying to stay consistent this year. My challenge for myself was to post every day on Instagram. So I have AI images that I've been sharing with some captions. And to stay consistent, I knew that I needed to basically build out something that would help me with hashtags and the alt text. So the text that basically describes what's in the image, which is great for SEO purposes, but also for ADA compliance. So if I upload a picture to this chat GPT, it'll give me, to this GPT specifically, the hashtag guru, it will give me 30 relevant hashtags for the image that it sees, along with a caption that I can use as a starting point, which I never do, but it's there, and alt text for the picture. So all of that just simply by uploading the picture, it's been trained to do that. Here's a few others that I use. I also just developed one for AI summer camp, basically so that people, and not just interior designers, can develop their business model from start to finish, from branding to like website code if you want it, and everything in between, defining the services, ideal client, all of that. It walks you through it. But aside from that, I've got Ideal Client Avatar Buddy. So this one, basically, if you want to define who your market and target audience is, this one will help you do that. Proposals, so writing proposals, which if you don't already record all of your Zoom meetings and meetings online with an AI note taker, highly recommend you do that, because transcripts for AI are gold. So if you can grab your transcript and then put that into a proposal buddy or anything else here, it can literally take the conversation and then turn it into a tangible document. So in this case, a proposal. I did do a podcast about that on AI for Interior Designers podcast. If you want to look that up, I go into much more detail there too. I've got another one here that builds out questionnaires. So, the questions that you need to onboard a new client. MetaBuddy, which writes alt text and then meta descriptions for blog posts, again, to help be found more organically when somebody Googles or searches something. My home decor store buddy, talked about that one. And then the budget guide, which is so fun that I figured I would show you a little demo of it. Okay. So here's that budget buddy in action. And what it's doing right now is basically giving me a good, better, best budget breakdown when I told it that I'm designing a bedroom and here is the overall budget. So I train this specific GPT to take into consideration every room in the home and then give me a detailed list of everything that we need to consider when we are designing this space. So as you can see, it's giving me this full breakdown and allocating funds in a good, better, best scenario for how we could potentially break this down. Now, this is the first iteration. So I basically now can say, okay, well, we don't need this. We don't need that. This should be higher. This is not accurate, which, it does its best, but not everything is going to be 100%. And then we can reallocate the funds and, really tailor this. But if you guys have built a budget before, you know that sometimes they can take days or weeks, if not many, many hours to build out, depending on the project. So with this one, I just asked it to create a spreadsheet for me. And then I could download that spreadsheet just like that and upload it and really reallocate those funds in a different way. So as they actually pertain to the project, I would be able to go through and do that. Okay. So that is a budget buddy. Great place to start for interior designers. Highly recommend either using mine or you can get another one and build another one for yourself. Okay. I don't know that I can move to my next slide until this is done. There we go. All right. So let's talk about LLMs. Technically, ChatGPT is an LLM, but there's others. So what are LLMs? LLM stands for large language model. And so basically what this is, it's a type of AI that utilizes deep learning techniques to process and generate human language. So it can speak like us. So basically, what that means is it was trained on large amounts of data that humans have written. So books, articles, conversations, so that it can speak like us and answer questions like us. And it's not like talking to a robot. A recent podcast that I did talks about how, some people overcomplicate the way that you need to be talking to ChatGPT and to some of these other LLMs. It was trained on human language. So if you talk to it like a human and not like you're talking to a robot, you're going to get really great results. You just need to have a conversation with it to dive deeper and to get, and extract the information that you're really looking for. They are really good at language. So, like I said, they're trained on all, human language and understanding of that. And it translates into different languages, which is one of its biggest strengths at this point in time, to be able to say, take English and then transfer it into another language within, real time in some of these applications. But that is what it's trained on, language and understanding how humans speak and operate. But with all that being said, it's not perfect. None of these are perfect. We are just barely getting started. Okay. So sometimes things are, just surface level when it gives you results. Sometimes they might sound really good, but like have wrong facts and information. Just always do your diligence, make sure that it's accurate, and make sure that you're not just taking everything as its word. Okay. Here's a few different models. Technically, I don't think Gemini Bard is by Google. Gemini, formerly called Bard, is a I think that's its own LLM. And then Perplexity is actually trained on um, Anthropic right here. So Anthropic's Claude 3.5 and ChatGPT. And that's what builds out Perplexity here. And then we got Copilot, which I integrate into my Microsoft Edge browser. So some of these are basically like LLMs themselves, and then some of them rely on other, core AI programs like ChatGPT to power their programming. Okay. So just be aware of what an LLM is, large language model. Now let's talk about the top three generative text to image programs. Midjourney being the best on the market right now, personal preference. Okay, so go out and explore. These are not the only three. There are tons of options for you guys out there, but Midjourney it's pretty incredible with what you can create and what you can produce just by typing in words. I mean, you can upload pictures too if you wanted to as references, but the words, that's what's creating these images. Okay, generative text to image. Now, Midjourney starts at $10 a month, and I currently pay $30 a month, and that's just because I use it so frequently. But you could do a lot for $10 a month with that program. I do have a free resource to show you how to set up this program and ChatGPT on the AI for Interior Designers website if you want to check that out, because I know sometimes setting up Midjourney can be tricky because you do have to go through Discord. So there's instructions in there for you. Dolly is that one I was talking about that's part of OpenAI and ChatGPT. And so that one is also an option. And then Adobe Firefly is its own beast. And while it's not up to par with the visuals that you can produce in Midjourney, that's because Adobe has actually trained their model on only their stock photos and not open AI, I guess, where they have trained on everything on the internet that they say was free to train on. So Adobe went a little bit different direction and said, hey, we got all these stock photos. Let's only use our imagery that we have the rights to. And so for that reason, it's really great in some areas. And then some areas where, like especially interiors, it's just a little bit lacking. But with every day and every prompting and everybody using it, all of these programs are getting stronger, faster, and better for everybody. Okay, so definitely one to watch out for, but Midjourney is my personal favorite. So, what can you make with these generative text to image programs? You can create flat lay boards here. This one, all of these are Midjourney except for this one. This one's Dolly. Dolly creates some really interesting looking concept boards. So does it Midjourney. And then we get some renderings. Now, this is so important for you to know. Due to copyright restrictions and basically intellectual property, if you prompt for design boards or renderings or whatever your images are, you're not going to get the exact products, okay? It's going to basically show you lookalike items and it's going to give you ideas of the concept. It's not going to take exact products, all right? So if you like the look of this design board, but you know that those fabrics are not, real, either create your own, and you can absolutely do that. AI is great to help you with that. Photoshop tools can also assist. But if you like this layout here, maybe you go and you find a sample of an actual fabric that you might use, say cravat or something. You grab that sample and then you put this into Canva or Photoshop, and you can use this flat lay board as a great starting point for your layout and for how you're going to actually start putting the real products on top of this. Okay. It's great for color palettes and defining that. You can create artwork, you can create seamless well, why am I telling you this? Because I have slides to show you. So here we go. Seamless textures. So if you do render and you need something that creates that repeatable pattern, or if you're creating your own wallpaper or materials, you can do all that in Midjourney. Dolly is a little weird with it, doesn't always repeat perfect, but 9 times out of 10 with Midjourney, you can get some really great seamless textures. Exterior concepts. So I'm showing a exterior house here, but I'm showing it in watercolor, and that's one of the features that you can do. So it doesn't always have to be these photorealistic renders and imagery. If you're working on something, not just exteriors, but if you're working on a concept and you want it to be watercolor or marker or line drawing, you just say that. You just put that in your prompt, okay? This guy here is for product concepts. So if you're developing your own products, it's a great place to start for those conceptual images. We got mock-ups. So if you do your own artwork and you just want to create, a nice setting that you can then go into Photoshop or Canva and drop in your artwork, you can do that. You can create artwork. So this is one that I was talking to my design assistant, had onboarding all the client information. And then I said, okay, here, thank you for creating the color palette. Now what's the artwork that goes with it? And then this is the art here. And then I extracted the color palette from that. Here's some repeatable patterns again, so those seamless textures, but this is more in the application for creating one that repeats as a wallpaper. And right here, we've got some stock photos. Sometimes they come out weird, like there's 3 different cameras in here and they are bizarre. But stock photos have notoriously been way overused for the free versions of things all over the internet. So if you ever wanted to create your own unique stock photos for your site or whatever that might be, flat lays, things like this, go ahead and create some. I mean, obviously, you're going to say it was AI and you're not trying to claim this as your own photography, but it's a great place to start if you ever need that. Also, glasses always come through with 3 eyes. I don't know. I don't know what that is. I always see glasses with 3 eye spots for it. So I don't know. Maybe they think that we've got 3 eyes. You can also create marketing materials. So here's just like a poster that I created, and then color boards and color stories. Okay. So many options. Again, I'm just scratching the surface, but they are helpful tools to create all of these graphics. And really, what you need is to construct your prompt. And it's fairly simple. The things that you need to put inside, you need to say what the design style is, what the space is, fixtures and finishes that you might be including, and then functionality and mood. You have the option to also say in the design style of, and then list your favorite designer. You can change your aspect ratios. You can put in a certain like camera or a time of day that you want to see your photography when you're doing these prompts in Midjourney. Okay, if you are interested in this, I do have a full Midjourney class. All of my core classes are up to date and we meet quarterly so that you can see what the latest updates are for all these programs. All right, so this is in the Midjourney class. I also sell my prompt guide, which has all of the things that you should be considering with like full lists of options that you can kind of plug and play. And that is available on the website. Okay, so if you don't enroll in that Midjourney class, you can definitely still access that. Here's an example of a prompt to create this type of image. So basically, I just had the style, and then the location, and then the colors and the types of materials. I added this little extra elegant and magazine worthy little thing here because I feel like it elevates it a little bit more when you tell it to do that. All right, let's talk about stable diffusion. So this is a whole other side. I wouldn't really call it AI per se, but it's been lumped into this. Okay, so stable diffusion basically allows you to take your picture or your line drawing. So here's my Midjourney kitchen concept. And in this program, I was able to change it to be the same picture, but with different colors and different design styles. So a lot of designers think that you can create this in Midjourney and then like just add things to their pictures or like see it in different ways, but that is not generative prompting. Generative prompting will always give you new pictures. You can edit those pictures in minimal ways, but for this, you can never see like a different color story. using the same image and having it maintain the integrity of that picture. That's what Stable Diffusion does. So this is Home Visualizer AI. I do have 15% off if you want to do Jenna 15 when you go to homevisualizer.ai. That's the website. Also QR code right there. And just kind of explore the potential. Now, guys, there's a ton of these programs out there. Find the one that works best for you. I do like this one because it is very user friendly and simple, and tailored to interior designers. So great for working in the field and just showing something like on the fly with somebody. You can just upload the picture of the space. Virtual staging is also a possibility for this method, but there's a lot you can do with it. Okay. So that's Stable Diffusion, a whole other part of this that you can do. All right. So what is next? Now, technically, it's already here. And basically, what this is video. So, generative text to video options. Whoops, too far. So, as you can see, I got some on here. We're just getting started with this. This one is Luma AI. That's what this program is. And basically, with Luma AI, you take an image if you have one, or you can do just a text prompt and it'll create a 5-second video for you, basically doing whatever you want. So all of these were still frame images, and let's see if I can get them to move again. And then I created animations like this woman walking into this AI generated kitchen and then, washing her flowers. This one here was a mood board that was converted over into a rendering. Very weird, did not make sense, but it's just the first iteration. Okay. So like these videos that it's making now is very reminiscent of where we started with Midjourney over a year and a half ago at this point, where things were very crude and weird. But we are going to start to see this come to life and be very realistic and very usable for us to be able to show conceptual videos and walkthroughs and ideas that are not just two-dimensional. So we're just getting started, and I know there's tons of other programs. Some of them are much better than others, but we're going to see huge advances in the video space with AI. Honestly, in the coming months, it's going to be coming fast and furious. All right. So just be aware of that on the horizon and also available now. But that is all I have for getting started with AI for interior design industries. So if you ever want to take a class with me, I highly recommend you go to aiforinteriordesigners.com, see what I have coming out for core classes. There is an event calendar there. And then I do, just different topics and different either one day or multiple classes. Like right now, it's summertime as I'm recording this. So we're in the midst of AI Summer Camp, which is a 5-week program where we break everything down with 2-hour sessions each week over the course of 5 weeks, because it's a lot of information. So I like to provide you guys with different ways to learn, whether that's one-on-ones with me, group one-on-ones, individual one-on-ones, core classes, and then all of the other extra classes that you can tune into to stay up to date and see how you can actually apply these tools to your business. Okay. So thank you so much for listening to this. I hope it was helpful in understanding more about AI in the interior design space. Don't forget to listen to my podcast, AI for Interior Designers, and I hope to see you guys in class soon.